Wednesday addiction. Humpin' it with Mello, D83, and the Maestro.
Hello. And welcome, everyone. I tried really hard to see how far I could go with that, but apparently I'm gaining too much weight. Hello and welcome, everyone. The week is almost over. You're halfway there. It's Wednesday, hump day, and you're now humping it with Mello, D83, and the Maestro. Please get your mind out of the gutter.
And off of whatever D83's on. I don't want any, so I'm just saying.
You sure?
Yeah,
sure?
I'm positive.
It's
I'm
amazing.
positive.
It would be Ice Pop from Prime.
No. Oh.
Flavor is horrible, but the lime one is amazing. This one sucks.
Well, please don't drink that anymore. Just stick to water, sir, please. From here on out. Anyways, thank y'all for tuning in once again. This is once the best hour of your life. I don't know what I was about to say there, but hey, it doesn't really matter because I got it out the way I wanted to. So the best hour of your week. I won't say life. Thank you for spending it with us. And yeah, let's get into it. D83, Mello, how y'all feeling?
You know, I would have to argue that, for me, this is every Wednesday for this hour is the best hour of my life every week.
That is amazing.
That is awesome. Thank you.
Amazing. Total dog doo-doo, but still. Sorry. That was the PG version because this is a family show. Anyways, not quite.
If only they could hear us before going on air and after.
No, it's not. It's not us. It's definitely you, sir. You. Yeah.
I won't argue that one. So
yeah.
Oh, look, there's a sticky note on my laptop. Oh, what do you know? Hey.
Well, all right, sir.
It says turn on. I don't understand.
I have no words for that one. But you know what? It is what it is. Y'all good? I mean, how is your week going? Let me slow it down a little bit. Cause I couldn't get it out.
So far, so good for me. Getting prepared for classes to begin on the 21st.
How fun.
If that's what you call it.
Yeah. Not really. I don't miss it.
I would call it.
Yeah. I'll pass. Thank you, though. I did my time.
And you ain't never going back.
I ain't going back.
Don't blame me.
That was a long ride up north, bro. I ain't going back. How's your week going, D83?
Oh, it's going very well.
Good.
Overwhelmed with work. They say it's a good thing. I would like to say everybody's wrong.
Depends on the perspective, I guess.
Correct.
I understand. That's what's up, though. Hey, I think the positive is that you have business, right? That's the one thing.
Oh,
So
I can't argue that at all.
Yeah, so could be the reverse, and could be
And-
looking for business, and then you would be doing what you said you would do prior to going on air, which I will not repeat, but you guys can use your imaginations.
No, trust me, no one's imagination can go that far out.
This is very true. That's absolutely true. Absolutely true. All right, y'all, let's get right into it.
Here comes the starting 5'5" D83 with the 3 and out segment.
D83, take us away, brother.
So, sadly, I have to say, my kids are going back to school. Last week was the last week that I got to have a full week with them.
Ah,
It's a lot. Last week was the last week that I got a full week with them. Yeah, something like that.
all right.
They start school. I won't say which school they go to, obviously, but they start school tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Thursday. And I'm like, for what? That makes
Yeah.
no sense. I would have loved to have been in the school board meeting with that, and they would have been like, "Hey, you really want to mess with these kids? Yeah. What do you got? Let's start school on Thursday, right?" I
That
like it.
that doesn't make sense.
No.
No, no, no,
I'm not sure
no, no, no.
how
And
that goes down, but
we have had such a wonderful time together. I'm gonna miss it. We got to play plenty of basketball, pickleball, badminton. You know,
pickleball,
yeah, pickleball.
man, I still ain't got down with that. Every time that subject comes up, I'm just in awe. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Forgive me.
You you have a thing against paddles or something?
I'm going to leave that alone. This
Okay.
is for all y'all
Didn't know
out
you were
there.
gonna go there.
This is how it gets started off air. Be careful of what you say.
But we played more badminton than anything. My daughter's younger, so hitting that birdie in the air is a lot easier for her and stuff. But
Right.
I'm gonna tell you what. I must say I am like the Novak Djokovic of badminton, and it may just be because I was playing against a 7-year-old and 11-year-old. But I'm gonna tell you what. For my age, I'm short, and I was killing them. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I guess way to go. I mean, I don't know what to say on that one, man. I mean, kudos to you for badminton and beating your children. I don't know.
In a game, not violently, by the way. Everybody,
Yeah. Oh, yes. Please, let's correct that. Don't want CPS knocking on your door, sir.
Yeah, but so next weekend we're gonna go to the Big Three basketball playoff tournament. Could be really cool. That's that league Ice Cube owns.
Oh no, I never heard anything about it.
Dude, Big
Interesting.
Three. I think this is their third year now.
Really?
Excuse me if I'm wrong, but yeah, dude, I like it because it's they play. The first one to score 50 points. It's half court.
Oh, okay.
It's half court. Yeah, so it's pretty much like street ball.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, that's
I love
dope.
it.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
I love it, man. Make it take it. If it doesn't touch the rim, you can put it back in. Touch
Yeah.
the rim, you got to take it back. 3-point line. I love it.
Yeah, that is street ball. That's exactly what
There's also on each side. There's a 4-point circle, and if you stand in that circle and shoot from there, obviously you get 4 points. So I like it. It's cool.
Nice.
It's different.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
Yeah.
But it sounds dope.
It is, man. You should watch it. Big Three basketball
Okay.
league. So we're gonna
So-
go there next Saturday.
Was it like a tour? Do they go around touring, kind of like the Harlem Globetrotters type thing, or what? How do you?
Yeah, pretty much. But
Okay.
that Saturday is the beginning of the playoffs,
Oh,
and it's gonna be at the Capital One Arena. So
Okay.
where's that at?
DC.
Oh, okay. That
For-
that makes sense.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
it's where the Washington Wizards play.
Gotcha. This
Yeah.
shows how much I know about basketball.
No.
Whoops.
It's gonna be awesome. And now, if y'all remember, a couple weeks ago, I went to that Counting Crows concert.
Yes.
That was awesome. Of course, I'm biased because I love that band, but
Right.
it was amazing. Oh, how time can affect a person. The lead singer used to be tall, skinny, had dreads. Now he's extremely overweight and bald, and I'm like, huh. I know the feeling, man. Of course, I never had dreads, but the hair ain't there.
I mean, there's some remnants of it there. We can see. It's just a lot shinier. So,
So, anyways, the concert was amazing.
my bad.
No, it's not your bad. It's not your bad.
Yo.
At some point in time in my life, I'm gonna walk away from this friendship.
What friendship? I thought we'd been established that. No? Is that my mistake? I thought.
All these years, everyone's like, "Hey, man, how's Maestro doing?" I'm like, He's a great friend.
Clearly, that's a lie. Wow, buddy. Yeah.
So I'm gonna talk about music for a short period here, some more. One of I don't want to say one of my favorite bands because then I feel like I say that about every band because
You do.
maybe I do.
Yeah, you do.
Sorry. So, but one of my favorite bands,
Hey, roll with it, bro.
Death Cab for Cutie. Death
I've heard of
Cab
'em.
for Cutie. Now, when you hear that band, the first thing you're thinking is like, God, it's got to be like some heavy metal, right? Death metal, or death metal band. Like, nah, it's a soft rock band. I love their music. I got to go see them at the Anthem in DC back in September 2022.
Okay.
But it was awesome. They're coming back to the same venue around the same time this year, but tickets are sold out and I can't get them at all. I'm going to keep looking.
Oh no.
Dang. You can probably
That
find some
band-
scalp tickets.
I'm going to keep looking, man, because I'm going to tell you what, the venue was nice. I'd never been there before. Again, that's the Anthem in DC. Really nice venue. And they sounded amazing live. They played for 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It's just awesome. It was awesome. Their album in 2005, it was called Plans, Plans, Plans. It was their 6th album. That album to me is awesome. And my favorite track on there is Summer Skin. Love it. I absolutely love it. Now, the album that came out after that, their 7th album, Narrow Stairs. I'm telling you, I played this song for you before, Maestro. It's called I Will Possess Your Heart. It's awesome. It's
I don't
awesome.
remember. I'm sure you have. I just, you know me. I don't remember nothing.
I recommend everybody check out that song, I Will Possess Your Heart by Death Cab for Cutie. Freaking awesome.
It's like that.
Interesting.
Okay.
It's like that. It's like that. My son loves that song. And he was so mad when I went to go see him. I was like, dude, you can't come with me, man. It's a school night.
He don't care about no school. I'm trying to go with
I was
Dad.
like, yo, trust me, if you live with me, yeah. I'd be like, yo, we're going over here, man.
Oh, bro.
You ain't gotta go to school, man. You look sick to me. I mean,
Oh,
come on.
man. Don't do that. Death Cab for Cutie. All right.
Death Cab for Cutie, man. Yeah.
I might have to check up on them because I certainly don't remember.
Once you hear it, you'll
I probably
remember.
will. Yeah.
Because I know I played so many different songs for you
Man.
over the time of our friendship.
Oh,
Friendship.
huh?
Friendship. Our friendship.
Whose?
I would spell it for you, but I can't because I can't. I get that whole I before E, except that whole thing confused every time, so I can't spell friend.
It's okay. That's all right. I don't know what that is, though, sir. Not in reference to you. It doesn't exist. So,
Whose segment? It's next. Right? It's Mellows, right? Let's just go to that now because
I
I've had
don't.
enough.
I think.
I've had enough. I'm gonna sit like this the whole rest.
Well, I mean, that's the way you normally look. So what does it matter? All right, Mellow. Let's get it.
Now it's time for a classically awesome journey to Squareville with Mello.
Take us on a trip in our favorite rocket ship down to Squareville.
Oh my gosh. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, that
Almost.
I can't. I stole that. So don't use that. I don't know. I can't remember what it's from, but yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I wanted to talk a little bit tonight about.
Every time you get on, I feel like you about to start preaching a sermon. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. Every time you start your say, it's like I feel like a sermon is coming, man. I don't know
It's
why.
not a sermon.
I know. No.
What?
It's the way you know. Cause
My approach.
Yes, because I think Dad used to do that when he was done.
You know, you might be right.
It's reminiscent of that. That's what it is. Wow.
Well, I have some important stuff to say.
Hey, I'm not knocking you home. I'm just saying, I just feel like, and I get sleepy every time. So
Oh,
that was ice cold.
well, good. This is going to put you to sleep because it's actually about interesting and important stuff, which is of no interest to you. So, for my fellow viewers in D83,
I'm just look.
That was good.
I'm done. I'm done. She ain't had to do me like that, y'all. Did y'all see
Hey,
that?
the big green guy was better looking. Can we go back to that?
Oh. Okay. I will be quiet for the rest of the show now. You guys have won this round. I'm done. I ain't got nothing else.
all right, let me get back on track.
Man.
So, I wanted to talk a little bit. I know y'all have heard me mention in previous podcasts about sustainability, but I want to make this brief. I thought about turning it into a series, but that might be a little much. But I'm a condense it. Condense it. See?
Huh.
Bye-bye.
Cat out. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
But I know everybody has seen the news, or if not seen it, at least heard about it. We have forest fires burning in Hawaii. Like, this is crazy. We have coral bleaching in the Florida Keys. We are about to go in the record books as having the hottest summer on record. Climate change, global warming. So we can sometimes use those two phrases interchangeably. So what is climate change? What is global warming? Well, here it is. Global warming and climate change. Yes.
What is it? I want to know. I'm interested. This is my interested face.
Anyway, I'm not with you tonight.
All right, I'm done. I'm done.
But I just want to briefly just give you the definitions. Global warming refers to the long-term warming of the planet. Global temperatures, have obviously been changing, especially over the last century, since 1970, 70s significantly. Mm-hmm. Climate change is just kind of like a more shorter term outlook on what's going on. It encompasses global warming, but refers to the broader range of changes. So,
Would you specifically you're talking like the increase in the strength of the hurricanes, forest fires, things like that?
rising sea levels,
Okay,
shrinking mountain glaciers,
Gotcha.
acceleration in ice melts
Okay.
in Antarctica, the Arctic, things of that nature. And the main cause, fossil fuels.
Interesting.
Do we know what fossil fuels are? We've heard of the term, but do you really know what a fossil fuel is?
Is that a rhetorical question or is that can I answer?
Yeah, either one of you. If you know.
Go ahead, B.
I know what a friendship is.
Anyways,
Sorry, I didn't mean to get sidetracked. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get sidetracked there.
clearly that's been on his mind the whole time. I don't know where that came from, but that has nothing to do with sustainability. I guess it does have something to do with sustainability
What the world?
in its own right, huh?
We have sustained a
No.
friendship for quite a long time.
No, we haven't.
Global. So far, while I'm listening to Mello, and you're doing an outstanding job. This is amazing. Global warming, right? You said means long term, right? Long term effects, correct? Is that what you said?
Global warming is
Like the
long
climate
term.
change associated.
With long.
yeah, and it's a sustained warming of the planet over time. Yes.
Well, climate change, encompasses global warming, but it
But
has different factors.
Right, but global warming itself is a sustained long-term warming of
Correct.
Mother Earth.
Correct. You're listening. So, fossil fuels, non-renewable energy sources.
I never answered. I wanted to
I
answer
don't
that.
care. I don't care. Petroleum.
The level of disrespect. is unreal.
Hydrocarbon gas liquids.
What was
Natural gas.
Oh,
Oh,
D83 knows all about that natural gas. He got plenty of that. Oh, sorry.
nuclear energy.
Nuclear energy is what? Wait. That's a fossil fuel?
The uranium
That's
is a non-renewable energy source.
Oh, so what they're saying is fossil fuels encompass all non-renewable energy sources.
Correct.
That's not what I learned. I might have to go back in time and talk to my teachers because that's not what I learned. They said it was.
It's mostly coal, natural gas, petroleum.
They said it was dinosaur bones that was in the earth for hundreds and thousands of years that compressed
That's what I
and turned into
It is.
into oil. That's not uranium.
Uranium is naturally occurring.
I know. It's not the point.
The point is, Maestro is old enough to have been around before there were fossil fuels, and the dinosaurs were roaming the earth.
Touche, my friend. Touche. Whoo, y'all on a roll tonight. I like this.
Yes. Well, let's just consider nuclear energy non-renewable, but the rest are fossil fuels.
Right. I got you.
But nuclear energy isn't what you think it is. We don't use the actual nuclear substance for energy. We use it from the fusion that it produces to create heat, which warms or boils water, which is what we use.
And which is the steam that turns the turbines
Correct.
and it generates the energy. Yes.
Thank you for the clarification.
I'm smarter than a fifth grader.
You are paying attention.
I'm not.
So renewable energy sources in which we're working towards, and that's kind of like what I'm focusing on in environmental studies and my schooling, is solar energy, geothermal energy, wind energy, biomass energy, and hydropower.
Biomass energy.
Biomass.
What is that? For
Biomass?
for the viewers and myself, I'm gonna be honest, who don't know what that is. What is biomass energy?
Biomass is used from trees and plants. So you can actually, there's a lot of things that can be considered a biomass, anywhere from waste, again, trees, plants.
So what do they do with it? How does it become energy? They burn it? I mean,
Burn it.
How does that help? That doesn't help. I don't know. Wait. How does that help? That doesn't help at all. I don't. Okay.
It can be converted into energy in different ways. Burning is one of the ways. But thermochemical conversion, chemical conversion, and biological conversion.
All right. you're gonna have to do another segment on that because I don't know.
Okay.
I need answers.
So I've explained fossil fuels and non-renewable energy, and I've explained renewable energy. So to make things easy, what can we do to help with sustainability?
Take more poops.
What? No.
Biomass. Ain't that biomass? That's a source, right? You said waste. I mean,
Sewage, yes, is one of them.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you trying to knock me, man? Don't do that.
Sustainability is meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own needs. That's from the UN.
United
They
Nations.
have a 17-point sustainability development goal plan. I'm not going to go into all of those. That's another segment. But simple things that we can do. Grow your own food. Start compost. Use cold water.
Hey, D83. You
Got
do
that
them cold showers, right? Yeah.
Got that covered, man.
No, seriously. He takes. Listen,
Ain't nothing like it.
I'll pass.
The first week sucks, but after that, it's amazing. I wouldn't take another.
Sorry, there's a gnat in my face. I'm scared he's going to fly in my mouth. I apologize for the antics.
Oh God.
So scared. It's gonna. Oh, hey. Can I just say everything times 0 is 0, correct?
Correct.
See, everything that's being said is way over my head because I'm still trying to figure out why that is. But anyways,
why? What is?
Nothing. I was just trying to make a joke about how stupid I am.
Well, that was a great. It's a great example because you showed us
0. Okay, 2 times 0, 0, right? How? There's a 2 there. All of a sudden, now it goes to 0. That nothing. Yeah, makes no sense to me. Right, anyway.
Well, all right. Sorry, Mello.
It's all good. But a few of the other items on the list that you can do is lose the single-use products, like plastics, single-use bottles, things of that nature.
That's impossible.
It's not.
It's not because I use nothing but plastic silverware and cups because I don't like doing dishes. And I'm saving the world. Didn't even know it.
How you saving the world with plastic?
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah. So 0 times anything is 0. I don't understand it.
Yo, I'm done. That was amazing. I couldn't have said that better. That was the best. Oh my stars, bruh. I'm done.
I'm laughing so hard I got lightheaded.
Oh my God.
So plastic, right? Yeah, but I mean,
Single-use items.
the problem is it's so highly manufactured. Everything uses plastic now. If you get anytime you get something from Amazon, it comes in a little plastic bag, right? Those little clear plastic bags. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Bottles, everything. Yeah, everything is plastic. So that'd have to be on a whole nother scale. I get, individually recycling.
Individually, what we can do. We can't stop everything, but we can take steps to help reduce.
I got you. Recycle, reduce, reuse. Let's close the loop. We can close the loop. Y'all ain't know about that.
Unplug your devices, because even if they're plugged in,
Vampire drain.
still uses energy. Use less water. Use eco-friendly cleaning products or make your own. There's tons of DIY cleaning products, and a lot of them involve vinegar that really work.
Yeah, vinegar is dope. Actually,
Yes.
that's no cap. Vinegar's dope.
Shop for your groceries locally. Buy secondhand clothing.
Oh, okay. So in essence,
Upcycling.
so really the essence of this is the more people do these things, so the less manufacturing really is to me, that's the idea. The less manufacturing happens.
It's a multifaceted plan. Idea. But if there's not a demand for these things, there's not going to be as much being made.
Yeah.
So we want to reduce and reuse and recycle.
Yes, but guess what? That don't fit the plan of the economy. Because you need consumers, you need these things to be continuously purchased in order to keep driving the economy.
That is true. Or you can put the focus elsewhere and things that are more sustainable.
You got to talk to. I'm gonna get you on the horn with Biden, and I'm gonna let you tell him that. All right. That's what you can do. I'm just playing. I'm with you though. I'm with you. I'm just being funny.
And one of the biggest things that people do not realize, and I'll make this quick, reduce your meat intake, because the resources that go into raising meat, it's ridiculous. Dang. Like the land that's destroyed just to make area for cattle. And
you ever seen those pig farms and those waste pools that they have? Oh my gosh, it's like extremely toxic. That's horrible. Anyways, that's another story for another day.
Do a waste audit. How much of stuff is really trash and how much can be reused? Volunteer.
All right, listen.
And get outside more.
You're doing too dead go much now. You asking too much. You know what I'm saying? You're doing too much now. Come on now. Listen, I got to do all that and work my 9 to 5 or 9 to
You don't have to do all of it.
8 to 7, 8 to 8. You know what I'm saying? God dang.
You don't have to do everything, but if you take steps in implementing some of these practices, you can make a difference. And imagine if everybody did one thing.
This is true. This is very true.
The difference that would make. I'm not asking you to individually save the world, but the world itself can save it a lot if everybody plays their part.
I got you. You confused me for a second, but I got you. I read you loud and clear, homie.
Okay,
Mello?
I'm done.
Oh, all right then. Clearly, somebody is feeling some type of way about that. So I'm just gonna move on.
あなたが一緒にいないと心が折れる
Yeah. No, all jokes aside, Mello, that was dope. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And recycling is one of those things I've always said I wanted to do, and I don't do it. So I think that will be my contribution. I will make an effort to really recycle. How about that? I'm gonna start with my dogs. Anyways. Wow. I said that out loud. Anyways. Yeah, so the anime I have for y'all today is Hunter x Hunter. And I think this is the 2021 version. I can't remember the year. So there's two versions. They kind of did a remake of it, updated animation and stuff like that. So Hunter x Hunter. Listen, this joint is epic. I'm saying, like, when it comes to fight scenes, epic. So basically, what this is about is Gon Freeze. I know the names are kind of odd, but anyways, oops, I messed all that up. Gon Freeze is a 12-year-old kid, right? Lives on an island with his auntie, and he's like this extraordinary dude, right? Extraordinary kid. He's got exceptional abilities, and he's determined to set out and become a hunter, following in the footsteps of his father. So his father's not around. His father left one day when he was younger, but he's world renowned. Ging is his name, Ging, Ging. So Gon decides he's going to be a hunter, and he goes, in order to become a hunter, you have to go and take the hunter's exam, which is this super difficult trial, right? That involves, yes, Mello.
What are they hunting?
I was going to get to that, but clearly somebody's impatient, so let me hurry up. Gosh. No, so hunters... So hunters are basically, they have very skill sets. You can hunt monsters. You can, they do hazard assess. It's just a bunch of different things in this world. So the world that they're in is dangerous. I couldn't find the term I was looking for. So, you hire these hunters to do various tasks, right? It's almost like an adventurers guild, kind of, sort of looks. Think of it like that. So you got adventurers. Anyways, you don't watch enough animated now. So Gon basically sets out, does the exam, and in that exam he meets Leorio Kurapika. These names are insane, right? And Killua, right? So he kind of befriends, and they're all here to take this hunter's exam to become hunters. So they all have different motives for being hunters, becoming hunters, and some for revenge, some to, make a difference in the world, some to, for fame and glory. various reasons. But this hunter's exam is super difficult. It spans over many days and very, very different tasks. Anyways, so basically, that's kind of like the first episode in a nutshell. They kind of go off and they start this exam. I'm not going to say anything after that because it's an amazing anime and you have to watch it for what it is. Listen, some of the most epic fight scenes come from this anime, in my personal opinion, ever. One of the most epic transformations. Listen, I'm going to say it. Goku has it down for the most epic transformation. That's just me. When he went Super Saiyan for the first time, you forget it. I lost it. I was lost. I lost it. I was looking at joint screaming and everything, right? But I don't want to give up too much. But just know there's a part in this anime where Gon has to fight Pito. Absolutely amazing. Listen, you talking about an epic transformation? I don't know. It's giving Goku a run for his money. That joint was insane, bro. Like super hype. Another dope fight scene in this is this old elderly. He's like the leader of the school, or the not the school. I can't remember the school or Magic Academy. Anyways, the Hunters Academy. He's the leader of the Hunters Academy. His name is Netero, and he has to fight one of the bosses, so to speak. Right. That fight scene was absolutely fire. Listen, check it out. If you don't check it out for nothing else, check it out for those two scenes, man. It is worth it. It is long. It's 5 seasons. But
That's not bad.
it's
Well, it depends on how many episodes are each season.
yeah. I mean, typical seasons I think are like 12 episodes a piece. 12, 13 episodes, give or take. But listen, I highly recommend this. It gets a 9, almost a 10. I don't know why I didn't give it a 10. I just put 9. Maybe slip of the hand. I don't know. But it is an amazing anime. Definitely worth watching. Character development, background stories, voice acting. Like, you name it, this one's got it. It is super dope. Definitely one of my favorites. Hunter x Hunter. Again, Senpai score is a 9 to 10. We'll say that. Definitely worth
Put
it.
it on Plex.
Listen, I'm gonna need you to subscribe to Country Rollers. Listen, I ain't got time for
Put it on
all
Plex.
that. I ain't got time for all that, bro. I ain't got time for it. I'm gonna start charging you $5 a head, homie. You doing too much, man. Listen. But yeah. So again, definitely worth watching. D83, I would definitely add that to the list. Definitely add it to the list.
Definitely. Well, I wrote it down. I thought you were going to say D83. I rate our friendship a 9 as well.
So the next topic I have. Huh? I ain't hear you. What's that?
I was hoping that's where you were going, but
Going where? I missed the whole thing. I don't know where I was.
we're saying how good our friendship was.
What is that? Huh?
I mean, we're on season like 20 something now, right? I don't know. It's amazing friendship.
Yes. Yes, it is. All right. Yes. No. Y'all, for all y'all that have questions, I've known this man for a long time. So this is how we do. We joke back and forth. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? It's all love. I don't really like him though. So the next thing I was going to talk about was one of the RPGs that I've been playing recently. It's just released. Just released. The full game just released. It was out. It's been out in early access on Steam at least for like 2 years, I think. And that is Baldur's Gate 3. And it is, I don't know if all of you gaming fans who are familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, this is part of Dungeons and Dragons, right? The originator, alt created. That was the first.
Yep.
Not the last, but clearly. But Dungeons and Dragons. So I'm not well informed on Dungeons and Dragons and, the different worlds. I do know Neverwinter, which I played before. Neverwinter is part of Dungeons and Dragons as well. Anyways, Baldur's Gate 3 it's kind of a top down RPG, right? So I don't know if there's a specific name for it or category, but so if you think of it's like Diablo, it's a top down. Van Helsing, there's several of them out there, but I will say this is an amazing game. I am thoroughly pleased in all aspects with this game. The storyline is super dope, right? It's not, it's one of those ones where each action that you have in the game, each interaction, each conversation, and the choices you have, determine the outcome of the game. And it's like 17,000 or some stupid number like that. Though that many outcomes in this game. Yes, it depends on, there's romantic relationships. You can choose to be good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it covers the gamut. There's a lot involved in this game. It's like over 100+ hours of gameplay. Like, it's a fully packed, well done RPG. I'm thoroughly pleased with that. I just took it on a whim. I got it early access. I don't know what made me get it. I think it was on sale. I think I got it during the Steam sale for early access. And it's worth it, man. Absolutely worth it. Of course, you can pick different classes. You have companions. It's a group, and it's a group that you have one specific player, but you have other companions that you can control as well. Or you can just run solo with your character and they do their thing. It's a turn-based fighting system, which I know a lot of people probably get turned off on that, but it flows really well. So he almost flew in my mouth. He almost got me. It's comic. I heard him screaming. Ah! So anyways. Yes, but yeah, man, this is an amazing game. I look forward to getting deeper into it. And it's famous for specific. So it's an adult. I would say it's an adult game. It has nudity. It's not like distasteful. You know what I'm saying? It's like all part of a realistic experience, I would say, in a game. So, but it's famous for apparently a specific sex scene with a vampire and a druid. I haven't gotten to it yet, so I can't speak on it. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know if he's in bear form, and I don't know. We'll find out though. I'll find out because I'm gonna get to it. Believe that. I will report back to the bridge when I get there too. And I caught him. Y'all ain't see that. I caught him. I'm like Mr. Miyagi out here.
I was just getting ready to say Mr. Miyagi.
Yes. Yes. All right. Well, that's it for me. Now, let's get in to the hump day question. This one, I think deserves a slight disclaimer. These are the topics that we talk about, obviously, are our viewpoints. They don't necessarily reflect anybody else's. We don't necessarily feel a certain type of way. But, we try and engage in thoughtful, respectful, and deep conversations. Sometimes we just act fools. Yeah. So we try and just look at all aspects of the conversation of a topic, and we just do it like that. So I'm sorry if somebody gets upset. We're not meaning to upset anybody, but we're going to talk about it because we all grown. And if we can't talk about it, we can't fix it, right? That's how I see it. From the words of Mello. I didn't say it. Mello did. All right, here goes a question. Is there a gun issue or a mental health issue? Now, all jokes aside, this is a real topic, right? Let's. I'm gonna turn off the goofiness for a second because this is a real topic that has touched a lot of people, and it's definitely a hot topic when it comes to politics. It's a hot topic when it comes to just everybody because it's affected so many people, right? Yeah. So yeah, do we have a gun issue? Or is it a mental health issue, right? Depending on which side of that aisle you're from, it's going to be one or the other. Typically, is how it's presented. So, with that, I'm gonna open up the floor. Mello, D83, what y'all think, man?
Well, one thing I'm not big on the whole, gun policy stuff and gun control. However, I will say this, something does need to take place. I mentioned, my kids going back to school, starting school tomorrow, and the first thing that pops up in my head is, man, I hope they can make it through this year safely. And,
Right.
Yeah.
you shouldn't have to live like that. You
Should.
shouldn't have to be in fear to just go to school.
Right.
It wasn't like
Absolutely.
that when we were in school.
True. Right. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, man. So what's changed, right? What has happened?
I strongly believe that there's a mental health issue. Very,
I so
very much so.
when we're saying mental health, we're talking about individuals that are mentally how do I want to say this? That are struggling with I don't know how would I say it besides mental
Mental
health.
issues.
Right,
Just
you know
mental
what I'm saying?
issues.
Yeah, yeah. I can definitely dig that. I think that is prominent these days, especially after COVID. I think COVID played a huge part, right? But I also feel like we've been on that trend here for a while because even pre-COVID, we had, mass shootings, school shootings, right? Like,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things that, if speaking personally, it disturbs me so much. It's why kids, man, right? And the only thing I can come up with is because it makes the greatest impact, right? We're
Yeah.
not saying positive or negative, but it's impactful. If I'm troubled and I want to make somebody hurt, that's a great way to do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. It's messed up. But unfortunately, how many have we had? Right? How many have we had? It's insane.
One too many.
Yeah. And
One too many.
and unfortunately, at least to my knowledge, and I could be wrong, but we're the only nation that has this issue.
You are correct.
You know?
Now, I have some statistics for you, depending on how you want to look at it. I was trying to look up how many. Well, first, let's define what is a mass shooting, right? And I think there is a little bit of confusion about what a mass shooting is. And even in looking up some of the information, it was a little convoluted because mass shooting or mass killing, there are terms that can be kind of used or are used interchangeably, but may not have the same meaning.
And it also depends on what entity is reporting it, because that definition changes as well. Even just if we're talking about mass shooting, in my research, it just depends who's reporting it,
Yes.
So
So
there's no defined definition or statistic that can represent that we can, that's all encompassing of what a mass shooting is, basically is what I'm trying to say.
I see. So I was just going to go with what the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation calls a mass shooting, also called active shooter incident. And it's defined as an event in which one or more individuals are actively engaged in killing or attempting to kill people in a populated area.
Now, I think there's some, depending on where you pulled that from, because I got a different one for the FBI. So the one I got from was a government site, U.S. government site, and it defined it as where a mass shooting is where 4 or more people are killed. So again, there's a description, just depending on who reports it, right?
Mass shooting,
Right.
mass killing,
And that's
there's
I'm
that's the
sorry.
problem.
Right. And I didn't mean to cut you off, but that was based on what the FBI definition was. So, number one problem, I guess, is we can't figure out what the definition is, right?
Right.
But for the sake of this, I would, me personally, I would encompass, it doesn't necessarily mean who's killed, but, a whoever's injured, right? Who, if a shooting happens and multiple people are injured, I would say 2 or more, right, would be a mass shooting. That's just my personal definition. Doesn't come from anywhere except my brain. So, take it with a grain of salt.
And the thing is I was looking at different aspects from different perspectives. Because you also have the NIHCM, which is the National Institute for Healthcare Management. And they kind of give a perspective from a mental health point of view. And according to them, you know, mental health isn't the greatest cause. They report that maybe about 20% of mass killings are from people who have been suffering or deal with mental issues. They're more likely to be the victims as opposed to the perpetrators of such incidents.
That's an interesting point because it also, I think, at this point we have to define what's categorized as mental illness, right? What are we actually defining as mental illness, right? I don't want to get too deep in the weeds and in semantics, but that's an interesting point, right? So out of the just because somebody commits an act, do we automatically tag them as mentally ill?
No.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Well, no, wasn't necessarily you.
Oh no, I was
I'm
just giving some statistics again from the NIHCM. No, they're basically saying, there are evil people with ill intentions that do bad things.
True. Absolutely true.
And just because someone commits an act of violence doesn't mean they're mentally ill.
Exactly.
So that's where, you kind of get in the weeds. How do you define what's evil, what's mental illness?
Right. And I think a lot of I think oftentimes people get mislabeled. We'll say that. Because you're right. Just because you commit that act doesn't necessarily mean that, there's a true mental illness.
Correct.
People commit murder 24/7. Right?
This is true.
Do we label everybody that way? They have a mental illness, or are they just, flat out evil? Or they, do they have, I'm not going to go there, but because there's no really defining that mental state to where it pushes somebody to, just want to kill a bunch of people. I can't understand that, so I can't explain it. So I won't try. But
all right. And something that might be interesting for those of, you don't know, and this was enlightening to me, that out of, mass shootings or shootings in general, gun violence, let's say that, most is suicide as opposed to homicide. And that's a statistic that we might overlook because a lot of people are turning the guns on themselves.
Now that is specifically from where? Because I think in speaking on this, we have to specifically say, because what we don't want to do is give a generalized statistic. You know what I'm saying? Because in my research, it's varied. It just depends what entity is reporting what as to what results are found. So that's
This was from the Gun Violence Archive.
Okay.
So let's say, for instance, from 2021, out of gun violence killings, 26,328 were suicide, 20,958 were homicide, and then you have 549 unintentional, 537 legal interventions, and 458 undetermined.
Now that is specifically for guns. That's not
gun violence.
Right. That's not saying mass shootings. That's just specifically where a gun was used. It's
correct.
Basically what that is. Okay.
So then you go to the homicide, and then that's where you kind of look at what the breakdown of mass shootings, killings fall into that category.
Right. So we're a little slightly different than what we're kind of discussing as far as mass shootings, right? That plays now that's eye-opening right? That's, to me, that's really eye opening. The fact that you have in killings or murders or death, let's say death, where a gun is involved, there are more suicides than homicides. That's really surprising to me.
That's frightening.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
isn't it safe to say with that statistic that there's a mental health issue, a strong
But
mental health issue? I mean,
correct.
suicide.
But
Yeah, I don't
that's
know,
just
but
for suicide specifically, possibly. But then when you go to the homicides, how much of that breaks down into the mental illness, and that's
I just don't see how one could, be thinking rationally, and then, you know, then be okay with killing a bunch of people, right? I'm just saying. Still say it links to some type of mental health issue. I couldn't see
I
the
hear
three of
you.
us hanging. I couldn't see the three of us hanging out and all of a sudden be like, hey, what I think would be cool.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Yes,
That's not the typically that's not the path, right? It's just not somebody who's so it's usually, and I understand where you're coming from, but to me it's more of a path, I would think, right? This is all speculation. I have zero facts to back this up, right? So this is just me churning some thoughts out of my head, right? But it's more of the path, right? You don't just, it's either it's some kind of disgruntled person, right? Or the person has gotten to a state to where they feel like the world is against them, or it's just pure malice to where I'm hurting, I want everybody else to hurt. It's not fair that I have to hurt.
Wouldn't that be like a form of depression?
It could be, but here again, it just we would have to get a definitive definition for fact's sake, right? For statistics' sake of what mental illness is, what is defined as mental illness in these cases. But I feel what you're saying. You in your head you can't fathom, somebody not being mentally ill who committed a crime like this. I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, I think while we can define it as mental illness, do we believe that? I think if we start to do that, we start to have to label just about everybody with some kind of mental illness. You feel me? Like it gets really sticky in my mind, right? Again, it's purely my speculation, but that. So do we? Somebody who just has ill intentions from jump? Is that considered mental illness?
I'm not because
You know what I'm saying?
right. I'm not saying that there's not those type of people walking amongst us, right? That just have ill intentions.
Right.
But I'm saying I would like to think, me personally, that there's more people that are having mental illness, some type of mental illness, that do these acts than it's just people that just have pure evil intentions that are rationally thinking these things through, in the process.
I'm gonna tell you, to me, it has to take some rational thought. To be honest, right? Because at least, and I don't have facts again, right? But just from the ones I know of, they're well prepared. They have multiple rounds of ammunition. They typically have protective gear. They specifically target places, right? To me, that's calculated. That's, it's just not a happenstance of somebody just loses it one day, what I'm saying, and decides to go off and, almost in a rage, or some kind of, these things are calculated. There's typically notes after some of them. There's typically, so I don't know. I'm not trying, this is just a debate. I'm not,
No, I'm with you. I'm not arguing.
Yeah.
Let's say someone's suffering from depression, right? Someone's depressed. They're constantly getting bullied and stuff. And over time, right, the depression is getting deeper and deeper. I don't see where you still couldn't put together a thought out, plan or whatever you want to say to act out on this. But I would still say that, me personally, again, this is just me, that it's rooted from
Right. I see what you're saying.
some type of mental health issue that hadn't gotten taken care of.
Now, let me throw this in there. if we had a reduction in the number of guns that are available, would we see as many mass shootings or killings or gun violence?
I would say yes, because it's not going to the ones with the evil intentions aren't going to stop. You
Yeah,
probably
but
would see a reduction, yes, but
right. I mean, there's always going to be like it's since the dawn of time. Let's be real. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Cain and Abel, right? Let's be real. You know, it's whether you're on the religious spectrum, you know, just or non-religious spectrum doesn't matter, right? Throughout history, it's proven that human beings like to kill other human beings for whatever reasons. But I completely forgot what I was going to say. That's what happens when you get old and have all this gray. I think the grays are pathways for brain cells to leak out.
What the world?
I don't know. I completely forgot. Anyways, that happens to me sometimes.
I definitely should be in that case. If that is true, I definitely should be walking around going ding 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 ding. Ding.
Well, we discussed that last time. You did. Sorry. But anyways, it'll come back to me. It's just I don't know. I think there needs and listen, right? I understand guns. I understand gun owners, right? And I fully can see their side of the argument, right? And it is, you know, it's a founding fathers right, not a founding father, but it's, you know, it's a constitutional right to bear arms,
Second Amendment.
right? And I get that, right? And you have a lot of people that you know, are hobbyists, right? I've gone to the range. I enjoy it. It's fun, right?
Yeah.
But the availability of guns, and this is not necessarily guns that you can, you know, that are store bought, right? All of them are obviously, you know, you can buy them from the store, but the ones that are floating around and are used in these, we'll say in general in gun violence cases, a lot of them are stolen, right? And if I'm not mistaken, when I was researching, I think the majority of cases are with stolen guns. I might be wrong on that, but the flip side of the mass shootings, those are typically purchased
Yeah.
by either the person that committed the mass shooting, or somebody who, you know, is in a household. If I'm correct, most of the time it's the person who committed the mass shooting. They're purchased from the store, right? So I understand their argument saying, hey, you know, it's not the guns, it's the people. I get it. The question is, how do we fix it? Right? Because as of right now, just in my eyes, in my opinion, it's at a standstill. It's a stalemate. Neither side can agree on what to do, right? One side
And
says
things
more
are
guns.
getting worse.
Exactly. One side says more. No, we need more guns. The other side says no, we need less guns. And the argument is for less guns is okay. So when something happens, you don't have the guns in the hands of the right people to be able to neutralize the threat. I get that, but the other side is okay. Well, if we don't have that many guns, if we reduce the amount of guns, then it's going to be that much harder for somebody to commit a crime with a gun. You know, so I'm not going to say one way or the other. I just know something needs to change, right? I think we all can agree that it just seems like people have shorter and shorter triggers. You know, no pun intended, right? You know, their fuses are shorter and shorter, right? So what do we do? You know, how do we fix it? Is a question. That's what I want to know. How do we fix it? What's going to be? Because obviously, improved background checks isn't really doing anything. No, and I say that as a person who doesn't know statistics, right? I say that as somebody who just has to sit here and listen to, you know, another incident happen on the news. So I'm well aware that I don't have maybe the necessarily knowledge and statistics to really be a factor in this conversation. But still, what do we do? How do we fix it? That's my question. Any thoughts?
If there was any type of gun control, what makes sense to me would be maybe first get rid of the availability of assault rifles. Yeah, right.
Right.
Because most times those are the weapons of choice for the mass shootings, right?
Very true.
If you took that availability away from you and I, right, the citizens, and to where that people that should have them, law enforcement,
Military, things like that.
military,
Right.
things like that, then that maybe would help.
Right.
But I don't know.
Legally, but what about the illegal ones?
Yeah,
Those are always floating
True,
around.
true. That's always gonna float around. But
yeah.
again,
But
I-
I'd be interested to see, and that might be something, if we revisit this topic, it might be something, in how many of the ARs and automatic rifles, semi-automatics that are used in these mass shootings, are any of them illegal, right? That'd be interesting to see, because that may not even be a factor in what we're specifically talking about now, right? And that's mass shootings.
But we can readily, legally get them. But if that's taken away, that might become a factor.
Yes, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, but it would be harder. I would imagine it would be harder for your everyday citizen to go and find a black market gun. And I
If
could be
there's a
wrong.
well,
Oh,
there's
no.
a way.
Listen, I'm not saying it's impossible. Believe you me, right? I'm not saying it's impossible, but I don't know. That's I think we need to try something at this point, right? It's kind of like let it happen, and meanwhile, it destroys generations, right?
Yeah.
One single act destroys generations, and adds to the cycle. Let's be real, Just think about all the kids, not just kids, but people who are traumatized by, who are involved in these incidents. Some, the ones who survive, right? The ones who didn't, and their families, right? That trauma gets passed on, man. Like that's
And
just not
that
something that goes away.
adds to the
Right.
mental health.
Right. So, it is a vicious cycle. And I think definitely something needs to be done about it. So that's just my 2 cents, maybe 1 cent. Yeah, man. Any final words, Mellow D83?
No, I think I think we could talk a lot more about it, different aspects of it, but that would definitely be for one or more podcasts or a whole
Yeah.
podcast. Who knows?
That'd be a whole series. Yeah. But it is what it is. It's a question out there. Again, these views and opinions do not support. I don't know how they say it, but this is just our opinions. Just us talking about things. And again, this is not an attempt to take one side or the other. We just discuss it and some of our personal feelings about it. So, thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate it. Hope we didn't get too deep in it. But it's always good to have some nice, meaningful conversations about real life issues, right? Yes. We love to keep it nice and light and friendly and try to be an escape away from reality, so to speak. But, at the end of the day, all these issues affect us too. So it's good to talk about it. So, yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. Remember, check us out on YouTube. We are on Spotify. And a couple of other platforms that I need to finish setting up, but we'll get to that. And make sure to like and subscribe. Tell somebody who knows something about it. Check us out for the best hour of your week. How about that?
Of their life.
Of
their life.
Of their life. That's what it
Best
is.
hour of life. And yeah, you almost forgot, Maestro.
What's that?
Next time, you gotta tell these people, man. Next time you're humping it, think of us. Get your mind out of the gutter. We love you guys. 2 fingers.
Peace.
Peace.